Hey, what is going on, guys? We're already halfway through this job, but I thought it would probably be a good idea to show you guys what we're up to and how we're going to finish it, just because I know this is quite a niche thing, and especially in camper vans it's almost a necessity. So this is how you fit a fly screen onto the back of your van, your RV, your caravan, whatever you've got going on. So we went to Bunnings. We haven't finished this job yet. We've stuck the top on just here, but the sides are still loose, so we're gonna get into that in a second and we'll show you how we do that. But all we did, we went to Bunnings yesterday and we've decided to replace this fly screen after a couple years of use. We got ourselves, this is easy to get in Bunnings. Just make sure you get the dimensions right. So we got a 160 centimeters wide by 200 centimeters high. That's actually, if anything, a bit too big, but we can always cut it down to size. It's got a magnetic door curtain in the middle, so you can just walk in and out easy enough. Make sure it does have the magnetic door. If you get a solid fly screen, you're obviously not going to be able to get in and out of your house, your home on wheels. So all we've done is bought this from Bunnings. We bought some Gorilla mounting tape. Make sure it is outdoors, heat resistant, weather resistant, because it's obviously going to be facing all of the elements across Oz. We've got a pair of scissors to cut it all to size, and all we've done is got the Gorilla double-sided mounting tape. I gave this a wipe down, gave it a bit of a clean. We ran a strip of the Gorilla tape along the top here, and then we're going to run another strip down the sides of the van, and then all we've done from there is, as best as we can, stuck the fly screen to the mounting tape, made sure it's pressed firmly into position, and you can see that this is like a very secure, tight fit at the top. And then this magnetic opening here will allow us to obviously go in and out of the van. We can close it when we need to. Well, it's not working right now, happy days. But hopefully it will work when we're finished. I'll show you the end product, but all we're going to do from here is put tape down the side, stick this onto here, cut any of the bottoms that we need to, because you can see this is actually dragging onto the floor at the moment. So we'll probably cut it here where the door kind of, or the opening starts. Here's the mastermind behind the whole project. Jen is she's kind of in charge with the fly screen stuff. So you can see she's got the Gorilla tape, just stuck it onto the rubber by the door opening here on the van, and then I think all she's going to do after that is take the other side of the mounting tape off and then stick it to the fly screen here. It's pretty straightforward, but the main thing we're focusing on is obviously trying to reduce any air slash bug related gaps, just because you have the fly screen for the purpose of trying to get rid of any mozzies or insects coming into the van. So we don't want to leave any gaps so the mozzies can fly in. So, but at the same time, you can only do what you can do. This is obviously a bit of a DIY project. This fly screen isn't the perfect fit for the van. We're just making it work. But yeah, if you're ever wondering how to fit a fly screen onto your van, any sort of openings, doorways, windows, then go to Bunnings, grab this setup and give it a go. It's not that difficult. Well, says me, who's just holding the camera. So on the sides of the van, because the fly screen obviously isn't a perfect fit, we've got this saggy part here which wouldn't make a good seal. So all Jen's done is fold the fly screen as tight as she can along the edges, mounted it with sticky tape, but she's then put a second layer of the mounting tape on top of the fly screen, and then this loose part she's going to fold it over and then stick it to the second layer of tape, which she's already done on this side. As you can see, it's like a perfect seal. And then you have this little loose part in here of fly screen mesh, but that doesn't matter, that's nothing, you know, no issue. But at least we've got a perfect seal around the edges, which is exactly what you want to hopefully not get eaten alive by mozzies. There you go, happy days, happy bloody days. So this is the finished product of the fly screen. It looks a lot better than the one we did before. This is the second fly screen that we fit on here. The first one we used a lot of Velcro strips because this mesh that you buy comes with heaps of Velcro. But we found that obviously putting a couple layers of Velcro between the rubber of the door and the fly screen, it leaves a tiny gap, and it isn't as secure as well. So using this double-sided mounting tape from Gorilla, you don't have to use Gorilla as well, you could use any mounting tape, just get a good quality one. It seems to be a lot better of a fit. Obviously over the weeks it will I suppose determine how good of a job we did, but it looks so much better than it did before. And now we can have the side door open and hopefully have no issues with mozzies. The bottom part was, as I was saying earlier, a tad bit too long, so Jen cut it to size. And then, did you sew the bottom of this? Yeah, so Jen sewed the bottom parts here just because there's magnets in these strips, and if you don't sew the bottom after cutting it, obviously all the magnets will fall out. So she sewed the bottom of these. If you don't have any sewing equipment, or you don't know how to sew like me, then I'm sure you could just use some tape again to fit that. But we cut it to size, and then we also added a couple of Velcro strips on the inside here, so that we can, instead of leaving it loose, just because there's tiny gaps here where mozzies could come in, we've put some Velcro here, and then we can just press the Velcro onto the inside of the step here, and that gives it a much better fit. And then we're tight all the way around. Happy days. So yeah, that is how to DIY yourself a fly screen, if you're wondering. Any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I think all up this was probably about 50 bucks to do all of it, and an hour or two at a very leisurely pace. So yeah, happy days. Fly screen, no more mozzies, hopefully.